everyone, my name's Camille and this is my channel by Camille, where I talk all about reselling on sites like Poshmark, MERCARI, eBay, Depop, and Facebook Marketplace. Today I'm going to share with you 10 of my most profitable thrift flips. That would be a good complement to my last video, which was 10 of my 10 underrated fast flips. So you got some alliteration here. These are thrift flips. So these are finds that I did not get at the bins. They're not from my personal closet. They're not from a mystery box. They're things that I walked into a thrift store and found. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how much I listed them for, what they sold for, my profit, and if I remember, I'm going to tell you where I sold them on. Well, I will tell you here. I'm going to put the pictures, so if I forget to mention it, you'll probably be able to recognize what platform it's sold on. So the first is a pair of Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. I found these at a Savers. I was really surprised. They were just hanging out with all the other sunglasses because I've literally seen Jessica Simpson sunglasses in the jewelry case for $10 at the Savers. So I was shocked by that. But they were real. I listed them for $75. They sold for $60 and my profit was $42. Those sold on Poshmark. The next is a Robert Graham purple shirt. I had just picked this up about 2 weeks ago. I paid up $10 for it. I found 3 at the time and I picked up all 3. So I've already actually made my money back. I listed it for $85. It sold for $65 on eBay. Someone sent me an offer and my profit was $45.61. The next, I actually have 2 or 3 items on here that are from the same pickup, so I have a haul video from that, so I'll link it. This is a Patricia Nash agenda, or a little like planner that you can put in your own pages. It was leather. I sold it on MERCARI same day, full price for $55. My profit was $44.14. The next is a Up Couture dress. This was one of my first trips to pick up stuff to resell. So this happened to be a really good one. The next one is from the same trip and I held on to that one a lot longer. But so this Up Couture dress, it sold for $69 and it sold full price on Poshmark. My profit was $49.20. Stay hydrated. The next one is a Byron Lars dress. This dress is beautiful. It's very whimsical. I thought it would go fast. I think because it was a really small size, it was a size 2, that it might have taken a little bit longer to sell. And I did try to, I reached out to the Real to see if they would take it, but they wouldn't. So that's just going to come into play a little bit later. But, I started that in the 90s, I think like 98 I might have put it at, or maybe I even had it over 100 at one point. I ended up selling it at 70, and so my profit was $50. So that was number 5, and if you've made it all this way, I would really like to thank you, ask if you would like this video, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. The next one is a pair of Tory Birch Boots. I wasn't 100% sure if these were authentic, so I did send them into the Real and let them decide. It was a little weird. The quality felt good. However, the size tag was just a plastic sticker, like one of those little square ones that had, like, you know, the information, because they had some fur on them, so it had information about the fur and the size, and I was a little wary about that because that seemed strange. So I let them decide and they ended up selling them. They sold for $145. It was a 40% commission. So I made $52. So another Real, kind of. So I actually purchased this from the Real and I have a whole video about it. I'll link it up here. Is a Barbora Jacket, a men's Barbora Jacket. I purchased that on the Real specifically to flip. I noticed that the Real, well, I know a lot of people do this anyways, they purchase from the Real to flip, but the Real doesn't do a lot of keywords or style names or things like that for certain products. So that's kind of where I think I was able to make that sale where the Real wasn't for as much as I did. I ended up selling that for $175 full price. I held on to it for I think about a month, and I relisted it with Vendu, and it eventually sold the next day for full price. Sold on Poshmark. So my profit from that was $78.05, but the video will explain a little bit more about how I actually made more profit than $78.05. So go watch that video if you're interested. It's something that I hope to do more of in the future too, because that was a really awesome flip. Next is a Hatch dress. Hatch is a maternity brand. It's pretty high end in terms of price. This item particularly wasn't very luxe as I was expecting. It was just pretty much a polyester dress. I listed it for $115. It sold for $89 on MERCARI, and my profit was $69.23. Next is a pair of Ferragamo boots. So I had these boots. I was thinking about sending them to the Real with the Byron Lars dress, but the Real didn't want the Byron Lars dress, so I just figured I'd hold on to them, see if I could sell these boots, and if not, then I could eventually pick up more stuff to send into the Real. But that was the only thing I had at the time that was a brand they take. So I listed them on Poshmark. I listed them for $225. They actually sold full price for $225, and I made $160. That was an awesome flip. It was it was a massive sale very early on in my reselling career, so that was really cool. And the last and best flip so far for me is this Revenge hoodie. Revenge is a brand, and apparently, I don't know, they seem to be making them, but the rapper that owns the brand died, I guess, so I think that's why they have been more expensive. And I just found this kind of by chance, I guess, as you do. I was in this same where I bought the Patricia Nash and the Hatch dress. I had been in that thrift store for like hours, and I was like, okay, I'm going to spend like 20 more minutes. Went over to the black sweater section for some reason and ended up finding this sweater. I paid $6 for it. And when I was in the store and I looked it up, I saw that they were selling for over $100. So I grabbed it. When I was actually able to finally find the Real, or the same exact one, it was selling for over $200. So I listed it for $225, and I got a lot of interest on this. I ended up selling it for $190. However, the buyer said, no, they canceled it. They're like, no, I don't think it's authentic, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. So it had all the right details. I was pretty confident that it was authentic. It looked good. And the person actually came back and they said, no, I changed my mind. I'm sorry. I want to buy it. I'll buy it for $200. So he actually bought it for $20 more than he had originally offered, and I accepted. So it sold for $200 on MERCARI, and I made $168.41. So it was an awesome sale. And yeah, it's a lesson in you gotta look up those brands you don't know. You gotta look up weird stuff. Weird stuff is usually expensive. So I know this is kind of a short one, but I kind of want to make a little bit shorter videos, especially if it's not a haul. That way, they're just easier and quicker to watch when you don't have too much time on your hands. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you will leave me below if you've sold any of these brands, if you can tell me what your best thrift flip is. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next Friday. Bye!